Air Warfare by Hayden Griffin, Grace Hedgemanowski, and Hannah Ferreira. In 1794, the first air arm was the French Aerostat Corps. They used hot air balloons, and then in 1799, they were disbanded after a somewhat abortive Egypt campaign. But no worries, because the blimp was created. This was in 1852, but to no surprise, they moderated it and created the Zeppelin. Zeppelins were used during World War I for bombing, and after the war as passenger transports until the 1930s. Then in 1903, the Wright brothers made history by making the first controlled heavier-than-air flight at Kitty Hawk, December 17, 1907. August 1st marks the creation of the Military Aviation Organization in history and a descendant of the United States Air Force, which was basically a small Air Force squad. This was the aeronautical division of the U.S. Signal Corps. Thomas Selfridge was the first soldier to fly in a heavier-than-air craft on May 17th, not December. The plane crashed during the flight, killing Thomas along with the plane. On a lighter note, in 1910, Eugene B. Ely makes the first airplane take off from a warship when it flies from a cruiser, USS Brigham, off Norfolk, Virginia, on November 14th, which is my birthday, by the way. Then, in 1911, he continues his success while flying a Curtiss Pusher, which makes the first landing on a warship. The Imperial General Staff in Britain sounds like Star Wars, but it's not. Set up a subcommittee in 1912. They recommended the creation of a new flying arm with separate military and naval wing. In April, the Royal Flying Corps, RFC, was created by George V. This will last until 1918. Probably scared to death, the U.S. Captain Albert Berry in 1912 made the first parachute jump from a powered airplane. Then, too much success, Roland Gorris became the first person to cross the Mediterranean Sea by air during 1913 in a Morane-Saulnier monoplane. 1914 was a big year for everything, because the war began, World War I, if anyone's ever heard of that. First China upgrades. The Chinese Army Air Arm is formed. In January, an important plane was flown for the first time. The Iya Murmansk plane bomber is flown for the first time. They were a class of Russian World War I large four-engine commercial airliners and military heavy bombers. On July 1st, the United States military established its first air department, the Naval Bureau of Aeronautics, the NBA. No, not that kind. Then they established the first operational flight in Europe by the Navy on July 22nd, 1914. The World War I air order of battle was the very uneven in numbers aircrafts. The RFC had about 48, France had 36, and Germany had a whopping 180. Way to go, Germany. World War I was said to have been started on July 22nd because Austria and Hungary declared war on Syria due to the Archduke, getting killed and everything, but that's for another day. On August 10th, the first Allied war flight over Germany. I bet a bunch of birds were confused about that one. Sorry, that was Grace. Grace wrote that. On August 14th, the first true bomber in combat was used to attack on German airships. Hangars. This used to have given the Germans quite a scare. On August 17th, the first Japanese aviation ship, aka the seaplane carriers, was invented. This allowed soldiers to land on water, because that's smart, because 75% of our Earth is water. The first Russian victory in air was completed on August 25th. Then the strategy is presented at Paris. Paris is bombed for the first time without any warning or obvious reason. This is called terror bombing. Terror bombing was a strategy bombing used military for total war with the goal of defeating the enemy by destroying morale. The purpose was to scare citizens and create terror from the inside, hence the name terror bombing. The Battle of Marne occurs, which results in Allied victory against the German armies in the west, along with the first fighter plane being created, which is the beginning of air warfare, our title. A fighter plane is a plane armed with synchronized machine guns that fired through propellers. This accomplished the first machine gun victory on October 5th. This battle causes the Schieffelin Plan to fail, which was the cause of World War I. Much later on, Japanese starts a new plan to catch up with the other countries by creating their own lighter-than-air unit in 1918. This starts the arms and naval race and brings Europe into a state of war. And that was it. So this is our credits. Okay, come on. No, that's our credits. Thank you, everyone. I never read so fast in my life. Thank you.